All right, now Kenya's debt load closed the year at 8.7 trillion shillings, surpassing the recommended upper limit. Now, economic observers say the continued rise in the debt burden is unsustainable and nearing a crisis level, and want the government to manage the situation. Dennis Otieno reports.
Over the last 10 years, the country's national debt has risen steadily, putting pressure on households and economy at large. Managing the huge national debt was one of the areas that formed the basis of the Kenya Kwanza campaign strategies ahead of the August 9th polls.
We have a plan as Kenya Kwanza on how to manage debt. Number one, we have said we will first slow down, put the brakes on borrowing. Number two, we will put brakes on unbudgeted projects. In fact, that is the biggest source of our problem. Projects that are not within the budget, so that we cannot keep our fiscal deficit at what we have committed, 5% or 5.9%. Number three, we need to raise our revenues.
According to figures from the National Treasury, the country's debt registry as at October this year puts the gross public debt at 8.7 trillion shillings, a near tenfold growth compared to 1.5 trillion shillings in January 2012. Churchill Ogutu, an economist at IC Asset Managers, terms the current debt stock as precarious as it has surpassed the recommended 55% threshold of the country's gross domestic product. But he reckons repayment remains the biggest headache for the new administration in managing the debt. Edward Kusewa, another economist, says expenditure decisions by the government will determine the success of the debt management.
Government is becoming desperate, partly because you see they are not able to meet their recurrent, and that is very serious. They have already shelved off the development expenditure. It's unsustainable at the moment.
In early June this year, lawmakers agreed to increase the public debt ceiling from 9 trillion shillings to 10 trillion shillings. The move seen as an interim measure to allow the incoming government to borrow to plug the budget deficit.
If you look at basically we are from COVID, basically we are from a drought year, basically we are from an election year, business has not been able to rebound as fast as we should expect it to rebound. And therefore increasing debt, thinking that the economy has been normal, when we are facing all these external shocks, then there's always a problem.
The new administration is keen on reducing commercial borrowing, which has seen foreign debt shoot to over 50% of the total debt. The proposal by President William Ruto in September this year to slash 300 billion shillings from the 2022-2023 budget also marks a promising start if well implemented. Dennis Otieno, Citizen TV.